Why, hello there YouTube and welcome to a Who review. I'm Davros and I'm a Whovian, and today I review Doctor Who Moonbase. The Moonbase, of course. So, this is from 1967, I think. So in this one, the Doctor and his companions are aiming for Mars, end up accidentally landing on the Moon in the year 2070, where they come across this moon base that operates a machine that controls the Earth's weather around the Earth, and of course the crew start to feel sick from this virus, which is a bioweapon launched by the Cybermen that want to take over the moon base and basically, destroy humanity. So that's the essential story there. So, what did I like about this one? Well, after the 10th Planet was seen as a successful story, they wanted Kit Pedler to write another one, and they did. Well, yeah, they did write another Cyberman story. Of course, with it being 4 months later, then being on a tight schedule and a tight budget, they managed to produce it into 4 episodes. So, first of all, it's sort of like on a one sort of location set where they're like basically in the studio throughout the whole thing. They're not out on any locations filming, but they make it work. They make it work with the moon setting, the way they look like they're on the moon, the way they look like they're in space, and and this is it's a good one. Of course, there is this whole feel that it is a rehash of the 10th Planet, which I think was a bit of that plot recycled into this one, which I kind of noticed. Of course, Patrick Troughton is great as always playing the Doctor. This, I believe, was his first Cyberman story, and we also had the regular companions Ben and Polly with newcomer at the time Jamie McCrimmon, and we see the Cybermen. I thought the Cybermen looked pretty good in this, a lot more robotic. Of course, the reason why they look better from the previous story, the 10th Planet, is because they actually had more money to improve them, and I think that's what might have caused the budget to... I don't know much about the budget of this one, but I do know that they did have more money to make the Cybermen look more cyber-robotic. And you know what? Despite them being 60s sci-fi looking, I actually like the look of them Cybermen. They're quite, good with the improved smaller ear handles and the eyes, and the machinery looks a lot more lighter on them, especially for the actors. So I thought that was, the Cybermen were nicely done. Also, that bit when they're all walking on the moon and they're all in an army heading to the moon base, I thought that was a good scene as well added in there, where they're all marching on there. I also like the tacky sci-fi suits, space suits that they wore. Yeah, it was, the 60s, and they were like talking 110 years from there. So it was like, space suits in the future and stuff. But like I say, Patrick Troughton did a great performance playing the Doctor. Also at that time, I believe, this were around his early days, so people were still taking to him, and I feel he was still a bit new to it as well. I also liked, Ben and Polly, played by Anneke Willis and Ben Craze. They, at this point, were the first ever companions to witness a regeneration, and, had stayed on from the previous Doctor, William Hartnell. And then we also had our newcomer, Jamie, who was, a Highlander from the past. I don't know if he was the first companion to be from the past, but, he wasn't from the 20th century. I also thought we had some interesting side characters for this one as well, and the Cybermen and the Moonbase setting and the whole classic practical effects of the Moonbase and the whole station and everything, how it all looked. And, you know, I feel that they didn't need to do too many visual effects. There is like the one visual effect where the Cybermen fire a laser at the Moonbase and it looks animated or something, but the way it's put in there looks alright to me. Like I say, they had a lot of practical visuals in this. But of course, there are 2 episodes that are lost. Episode 1 and episode 3 that are lost, and I watched reanimated, so they were in cartoon. So the effects on the animation looked good, but I can't tell you what effects that they used practically or what have you. Could have been like, you know, because like I say, the episodes are lost, but the audio remained intact, so they just reanimated it and made it in animation. And I think the animation looks good, so, you know, kudos to the animation team. But yeah, this was... I actually didn't find it too boring. Like I say, it was very familiar and similar to the 10th Planet, but I thought, like I say, back in the 60s they recycled a lot of stuff and rehashed them and redid them and that, I believe. So, yeah, Moonbase is an enjoyable story. Yeah, it's black and white. I don't know if they've released it on DVD where all episodes are animated in colour, but yeah. Also at the end, it leaves things open for the Macra Terror as well. You know, the next serial that we get, which I believe is all lost, and I watched reanimated. So, yeah, Doctor Who, Moonbase. I mean, yeah, there were bits in the middle parts that I found a bit boring and a bit dragged on and stuff, but I also thought the score, the music was quite suspenseful with the whole Cybermen theme of that playing around. So, yeah, and the way they were like looking like they were on gravity and stuff, the way they, like, some of the Cybermen floated were alright and done, given that they're on the moon. So, ratings now. What am I going to give this? I'll give the visuals, you know what, I like to think the visuals had a lot of work put into it, despite them not all being great, but a lot practical. I'll give the visuals an 8, the performances 9, the writing an 8, and my personal, I'll give it an 8. So there you go, there are my ratings for Doctor Who, the Moonbase. So if you've seen this one, let me know down in the comments below if you have. If you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up and share with your friends, and feel free to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and to hit that notification bell. I've been Davros the Whovian, and this has been a Who Review. So, until next time, run for your life.